Picture a medieval warrior, wrapped in a snow-white cloak, a stark black cross emblazoned on his chest. This isn't just fantasy. It's the iconic image of the Teutonic Knights, one of history's most formidable military religious orders. Their story is an epic saga of faith, conquest, and transformation. But how did a humble brotherhood of healers, founded in the sands of the Holy Land, rise to become a military powerhouse that carved its own nation out of the forests of the Baltic frontier? And how did it all come crashing down? Today, we trace the dramatic rise and fall of the Teutonic Knights. Our story begins not with a sword, but with an act of mercy. It's 1190, during the brutal Third Crusade. The city of Acre is under siege, and German pilgrims and soldiers are suffering, sick and wounded in a foreign land. Seeing their plight, merchants from the German cities of Lübeck and Bremen set up a simple field hospital. Their mission was purely charitable, to care for their struggling countrymen. But the harsh reality of the Crusades demanded more than just healers. It needed warriors. So, in 1198, Pope Innocent III officially recognized the Brotherhood as a military order, much like the famous Templars and Hospitallers. The members now took on 3 sacred vows: poverty, chastity, and obedience. They combined their charitable duties with a warrior's pledge to defend the faith. Donning their white mantles with the black cross, their military history began. But their true destiny wasn't in the sun-scorched Middle East. It lay waiting in the cold, dark forests of northern Europe. As the Crusader kingdoms in the Holy Land began to weaken, the Teutonic Knights needed a new purpose. A fierce debate raged within the order: stay and fight for the Holy Land, or find a new frontier. The new frontier won. In 1226, they received an invitation that would change their destiny forever. Duke Conrad of Masovia, a Polish noble, was desperate. His lands were being ravaged by raids from pagan Prussian tribes. He asked the knights to help, offering them territory in the borderlands. But an even more powerful offer came from the Holy Roman Emperor, Frederick II. His decree, the Golden Bull of Rimini, was essentially a blank check. It granted the order supreme authority over any lands they conquered from the pagans. This was their green light to build their own state under the banner of a holy war. What followed was a long and brutal series of campaigns known as the Northern Crusades. The knights, joined by guest crusaders from all over Europe, waged relentless war against the Prussians and, later, the Lithuanians. Their strategy was simple but effective: conquer, then build. Everywhere they went, they constructed massive, imposing castles made of red brick. These fortresses weren't just for defense. They were administrative centers, projecting the order's power across the landscape. The grandest of them all was the magnificent fortress of Malbork, which became their capital. Through this systematic conquest, the warrior monks forged a unique political entity: the monastic state of the Teutonic Order, or the Ordensstaat. They had built a nation with the sword and the cross, becoming a Baltic superpower. But their very success had created a powerful new enemy, and the justification for their holy war was about to disappear, setting the stage for a cataclysmic battle. By the late 14th century, the Teutonic Order was at the peak of its power, but its dominance was about to be challenged. In 1386, the political map of Eastern Europe was redrawn. The Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania joined forces, creating a massive, powerful state right on the order's border. And then came the critical blow to the Knights' entire mission: Lithuania officially converted to Christianity. This single act pulled the rug out from under the Teutonic Order. Their holy war against Europe's last pagans was now just a political conflict against a Christian rival. The simmering tension finally exploded on July 15, 1410, at the Battle of Grunwald. In a famously arrogant gesture, the Grand Master, Ulrich von Jungingen, sent 2 bare swords to the enemy commanders, King Władysław II Jagiełło of Poland and Grand Duke Vytautas of Lithuania, taunting them into battle. They accepted. The battle that followed was an absolute catastrophe for the knights. The Grand Master himself was killed on the field, along with most of the Order's senior command and the very best of its knights. Their legendary reputation for invincibility was shattered in a single afternoon. The financial cost was just as devastating. The price of war, plus the enormous ransoms demanded for thousands of captured knights, crippled the Order's treasury. Although they managed a heroic defense of their capital at Malbork Castle afterwards, preventing the state's immediate collapse, the defeat at Grunwald was the beginning of the end. The wound from Grunwald festered for decades. Militarily weakened and financially broken, the Order faced rebellion from within and pressure from without. The 13 Years' War, a civil war sparked by cities and nobles tired of the Order's high taxes and iron-fisted rule, bled them dry. By 1466, they were forced to sign the Second Treaty of Torun. The terms were crushing. The Order lost nearly half its territory, including its magnificent capital, Malbork. Humiliatingly, the Grand Master was forced to become a vassal, a subordinate to the King of Poland. The Ordensstaat was a shadow of its former self. Stripped of its purpose, its land, and its wealth, the monastic state was uniquely vulnerable to the next great storm sweeping across Europe, the Protestant Reformation. The final act for the Teutonic Order's Crusader state wasn't written on a battlefield, but in the religious and political chaos of the Reformation. In 1525, the Grand Master, Albert of Brandenburg, made a revolutionary choice. He embraced the new ideas of Martin Luther and converted to Lutheranism. In a masterful stroke of political pragmatism, he secularized the Order's remaining lands. He turned the monastic state into the secular Duchy of Prussia. He then swore an oath of loyalty to the King of Poland, officially ending the Ordensstaat. The era of the warrior-monk state was over. But the story doesn't end there. Though their state was gone, the Teutonic Knights left a deep and lasting mark on history. That secular Duchy of Prussia would eventually grow into the powerful Kingdom of Prussia, the very kingdom that would later unify Germany in 1871. In a way, the Order is an indirect ancestor of modern Germany. Their most visible legacy, of course, is their breathtaking architecture. Those majestic brick Gothic castles still stand today. Malbork Castle is now the largest brick castle in the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a stunning monument to their power and genius. And what of the Order itself? It survived. Branches in other parts of Europe adapted. Today, the Teutonic Order continues as a Catholic religious organization, returning to its roots of charity and hospital work. It has come full circle. From a mission of mercy, they grew into a military power that built a nation, only to lose it all and return once again to a life of service. Their history is a fascinating, complex tale of how faith, violence, and politics shaped our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the past. See you next time. The visuals within this presentation are crafted to enrich your understanding, serving as artistic interpretations and contextual aids rather than direct factual representations. Their purpose is to illuminate the narrative and deepen your engagement with the historical backdrop. Join our growing community of history enthusiasts. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support keeps history alive.